So we're about ready to finish off this project. The last thing to do is to create a presentation sheet that you can submit. And what the first thing we need to do is actually create that presentation sheet. And it has a certain dimension to it. We'll make it 18 by, I think, 32. And we'll give it a title block down here. If I step out of the way here a little bit, you can see, I'm trying to get out of the way. Arch 2014, spring of 22, we'll just name it like summer school or fall or spring of 23, whenever the course is running, and your name. So let's go through the process of doing that. It could have been that we could have loaded it directly from Revit, but I'm finding that it's not available in the download package and it's not available on the cloud. So we're going to go out to whatever content learning management system we're running on at the time, and I will have attached the file. And you can just, and it's called Start Presentation Sheet. You can just click on it, it'll download it. I've done this once already. Once it's downloaded, you can go ahead and open that, and that'll open it in Revit. And if it isn't a current version, it'll upgrade it to the right version for you. And when we open it, we'll see that it's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and I could show you that by clicking on two of the edges of it. And we're just going to convert this now. And what we want to convert it to is something that has the aspect ratio of 9 by 16. And that is what fills up the whole monitor. So if this was 9 inches high on a standard monitor, it would be 16 inches wide. And we want to duplicate that. That way, whenever we make a digital presentation, our sheet will fill the whole screen. And I'll show you a little bit more about that later on this, and I probably have included that in the lecture content. So we want this to be 18 inches high, so I'm going to select the top edge and click 18, and we want it to be 32 inches wide, 16, yeah, 32. So I'm going to click on that and change this to 32, and then I'm going to do ZE to zoom extents, and the next thing we need to do is place the title block on. And actually what I'll do is I will get rid of myself here. Let me just click this off so I disappear. And so that frees up this area where we're going to be doing some labeling. And first thing I want to do is save this. So I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to do a Save As. And I'm going to save it as a family. This title block is a family element. So we'll save it as a family. And then I'm going to navigate to where I'm working on this. And this could be saved to the cloud if that's the way you're working with it. I've got to get navigated into my production area. And I'm going to just save this as my presentation sheet. And you can give it your name or whatever. And let me just get rid of all this other stuff in front of it. And that .raf means that it's a Revit family file. And I'll go ahead and save that. And then once again, we're going to add some notation to it. So I'm going to go to Create, and I'm going to go to Text. And I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write ARCH2014. And we'll say summer, or I'll say spring 2023. That's when the course normally runs. You can type summer, and I'll click off of that. And what we want to do right away now is modify that. So I'm going to click the modify button and select this. We want to make it larger, and I want to make it gray. So I'm going to go to edit type, and once again I'm going to go duplicate, and we'll call this display type. I'm going to click OK. Like I said, I'm going to change the color from black to a light gray because I'm going to make this text a lot larger. I'm going to make sure the background is transparent. So I'm going to select this. This is really important. If you were to put this over black, there'd be a white box around it unless you make this background transparent. It'll look like a ransom note. It'll look really unattractive, and it will be something that I'll bug you about until you fix anyway. So please pay attention. It needs to be transparent. It gives it a much more professional appearance. And we'll up the text size to about a 1/2 inch. And I'll click apply, and nothing will show up here. Well, it did. Call Me a Liar. And there we have the first part of our title block. Next thing we want to do is create our name. And we're going to put that down here, and I'll write student name. And that can be your name. And we could bump that up a little bit. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go to edit type. We're gonna duplicate it, and we're gonna go small display. We'll leave it black because it's small. We'll make sure that the background is transparent, and we'll bump up the type size a little bit. We'll make it 3/8 of an inch. We'll just try that. And I'll click apply and OK. And for some reason, it doesn't look like it got larger. So I'm going to go modify. I don't know why we're in this mode. Jump out of that. Yeah, it's still the old one. So let's go to small display type. And there it is, a little bit bigger. And actually, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I might adjust this again. So I'm going to go to edit type. 3/8 seems a little too big. So that would be 5/16 would be the splitting the difference. So that's a little bit bigger than the standard type. Anyway, that can be actually however you want it to look. I'm going to grab both of these. I'm going to hit the control key. I'm going to pull this way down into the corner over here, just so that we have as much space as possible for our graphics. So once we've created that, I'm going to go up here and use the save icon to save the file. And I'm going to load it into our project. It says a warning comes up. It says can't create this kind of element in the view. And that's okay because we don't have a sheet yet. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So we're going to go over to Sheets now on the right-hand side here. And I'm going to right-click on that, and it's going to go New Sheet. A window will open up, and you'll notice how I've loaded it in. So my presentation shows up right away. I click OK, and now we're presented with that sheet inside of our project document. Now, if I go back to where I created it, I'm on this tab with nothing written on it. This is the family file. I'm just going to close this one off because we don't need it anymore. And just to show you how this is working now, I'll take our 3D view and I'll drag this onto the screen. And now we have our sheet with our first image placed on it, which we will delete. And in the next video, we'll start doing a more professional layout.